this is what I said would happen to silver. Check out this chart. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you how this debt, which is out of control and ever growing, is coming to hit us as silver stackers. Look at this. This is such a discrepancy between what we heard 15 years ago, because you could see on this chart, the blue is the rest of the world, and it's flattening out down here, and the red is federal debt. That's public debt up here. And you remember 20 years ago, the narrative was, oh, China is holding so much of our debt that they're controlling us. Remember that narrative? And somehow that is flipped, because look, we don't want to be holding all this debt. I mean, look at this. We don't want this. And in fact, look here. Japan is actually, look at this chart. Japan is above China in terms of holding U.S. debt. This is why, as silver stackers, we were staring at the struggle that Japan went through and is still going through, but starting about a year ago with their currency, because that impacts us. They have all of our debt, and if they're dropping, then we are being, that's the domino effect. We are dropping. Now, check this out. I'm going to show you how this debt issue that we have in our country here in the States is coming straight at us. Look at this. Rising U.S. debt will swamp U.S. defense spending. Now, this is frightening, because look at where 2024 is. Oh, first, of course, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It's so important to get this information out there. Hit those buttons. Make sure that everybody knows what's going on, especially in our silver stacking community. So look at this. Right here where we meet, this is where my cursor is. This is about 2024. You could see if this pattern follows what we're living through. See the discrepancy? See how that widens? I mean, that's our net interest outlays and defense. Like, that's just spreading apart and spreading apart. That's not what we want to see. And of course, it makes sense that here, look, this is right now, 2024. See this red all the way on the right? Now, it's an election year. Yes. It's an election year. So we're not the only country that is going through this issue with unprecedented budget deficits, with spending, because it happens across the globe during election years, especially in Western countries. We are not alone. So we have to keep that in mind while we're freaking out looking at this, because that is frightening. Look at that jump in 2024. I mean, it is just frightening. And as silver stackers, many of us, myself included, we got into stacking silver because we watched the weakening of the dollar, and we watched it continue to weaken as years went by, decades went by, and that is what tells us that this currency is put in place to just be a weak fiat currency. That's what it is. It's just weak. It's going to continue to weaken. It's going to continue to lose its value. So many of us got into stacking silver. People don't, if you're new to stacking silver, people don't get into stacking silver because they want a return on their investment. That is not what stacking silver is. It's a safe store of wealth. And at best, yes, you're hedging inflation. And if you see over years and decades, if you see an increase in the value and your wealth goes up, great. But really, it's the greatest safety net that you could have, as we know that we have our currency is not backed by anything real. It's not backed by anything real. So that's why we stack silver. And really, there's especially, look, today I just started this video showing how silver went up a little to a little over $31. That's exciting, it is. But there's a real argument to be made, especially for us as silver stackers, that the point of what we're doing is we stack silver and we don't look at the price. You don't, because what we really look at is this chart that I'm showing you right on your screen, this red line in 2024 shooting up, showing a U.S. budget deficit just growing and growing. I mean, that's what we look at, because that shows the weakening of the dollar. And as the dollar weakens, it doesn't matter what we paid for silver, because silver is real money. I'm going to say that again. As the dollar weakens and continues to get weaker and weaker, it doesn't matter what we put into our stack of silver, because that is real money. That is real wealth. That is real money. That's really the point. So it does. I'm not saying this to throw away everybody's frustrations when they see silver price being stagnant for so long. I'm not saying that, because it is frustrating. Silver was stuck between $22 and $24 for a solid 2 years. Now we're hovering at $28 to $30, that's where we've been hovering, and we're just stuck there. So I'm not saying that silver won't move. I'm not saying that that we should look at it in that light, but it's not the type of thing where you look for a return on investment. It's this chart right here that explains why we stack silver and why stacking silver is the smartest move in the long run, because you have real money. This shows right here, this red line on the right, just shooting up and shooting up. This shows that the U.S. dollar is going to continue to weaken. It's set up to weaken because there's nothing behind it. There's no value behind it. It's a fiat currency. And stacking silver, if you could afford to get some gold at this $2,600 price, then good for you. That's amazing. I certainly cannot. I'm just a regular guy. I work a regular job. I cannot. I can stack silver still. Silver is in my range, and I will continue to stack silver. But the point is to try to not focus so much on the price of silver, how much it's going up, how much it's going down, because as the years go on and as the dollar weakens, stacking silver is the smartest way to go, because you're having real wealth. You're holding real wealth no matter what. You think all of a sudden this is going to completely flip? You think all of a sudden this red line on the right chart of this chart here is just going to completely drop down? It's. I mean, maybe I'm more cynical than you are. So this is what we need to look at, and as silver stackers, especially, this is what we really need to look at. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, help get this information out there. It is so important, and I'll see you on the next one.